Fascism should more appropriately be called corporatism, because it is a merger of state and corporate power, attributed to Benito Mussolini but disputed. Fascism has never been purely a political movement. It has always been deeply intertwined with corporate power. Far from being anti-capitalist, fascist regimes rely on corporate backing to crush labor movements, suppress wages, and consolidate economic control. Today, we see similar patterns emerging in corporate-funded right-wing movements, where billionaires bankroll anti-worker policies, media propaganda, and political campaigns designed to uphold an authoritarian status quo. This chapter explores how corporations have historically enabled fascism, how modern capitalism fuels authoritarianism, and why breaking corporate power is essential to defeating the far right. Companies like IBM, Ford, and IG Farben directly aided the Nazi war machine. German industrialists supported Hitler to crush trade unions and leftists. Italian fascism relied on business elites to suppress socialist uprisings. Mussolini's government privatized industries, dismantled labor protections, and promoted monopolies. American corporations funded segregationist politicians to keep wages low and labor divided. Companies like Shell and Coca-Cola profited from South African apartheid. These examples show that fascism thrives when corporate power remains unchecked, and that corporate elites often prefer authoritarianism over democracy when it benefits their bottom line. While corporations no longer openly fund fascist regimes, they still play a central role in enabling right-wing authoritarianism. Tech billionaires like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel openly support far-right candidates and anti-democratic policies. Social media algorithms amplify far-right disinformation while suppressing progressive content. Fox News, Sinclair Broadcasting, and conservative think tanks are propped up by corporate funding. Oil and gas companies bankroll climate denialism to prevent regulation. Establishment Democrats accept corporate donations while blocking labor protections and wealth taxes. They offer cosmetic progressivism while enabling economic policies that fuel right-wing populism. Modern authoritarian movements may not always look like classical fascism, but they're still deeply tied to corporate interests, especially in sectors like tech, energy, and finance. Corporations fund anti-union campaigns to keep wages low and prevent collective action. Example: Amazon and Starbucks have aggressively fought unionization efforts despite record profits. Billionaire-funded groups like ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council, push voter suppression laws and tax cuts for the rich. Corporate money keeps authoritarian politicians in power. Right-wing media manufactures outrage over wokeness and LGBTQ+ rights to shift attention away from wealth inequality. For example, while Fox News focuses on gender debates, it ignores corporate tax evasion and worker exploitation. These strategies help maintain corporate dominance by turning working class people against each other instead of against economic elites. Unionized workers are far less likely to support right-wing authoritarianism. Strong labor movements prevent corporations from funding reactionary policies. The repeal of the Fairness Doctrine allowed right-wing media dominance. This must be reversed. Publicly funded independent media is needed to counter corporate propaganda. Overturning Citizens United would cut off corporate influence in elections. Publicly funded campaigns would reduce billionaires' grip on the political system. The far right is not just a cultural movement, it is fundamentally a corporate-backed project. Fighting fascism requires breaking corporate power and democratizing the economy.